thumbs up for me, or just say hi in the text. I just need to know if you can hear me. That would be great. I certainly would appreciate that. If you can hear me, I certainly would appreciate that. All right. So look, today we're going to talk about the church and the ministers in the church. And I'm talking specifically in regards to ministers who talk about Freemasonry in such a way to just say that it's an occult of some sort. I'm talking to you ministers. Those ministers who have mega churches and hundreds, maybe thousands of followers who believe on their every word. I'm talking to those ministers. And I know that there are several ministers they really preach the word of God. I mean, granted, I'll give them that. I'm not talking to those. I'm talking to the ones who always want to come out and talk about Freemasonry and its secrets, and God said you shouldn't take an oath. And I'm talking to you ministers. Those of you who I reached out to and asked you to come on the page and have the conversation, but you refuse to. I'm talking to you ministers. Those who just want to just throw bricks and talk about other things other than trying to really help a person to understand life issues. And there are some ministers, let's just be honest, there are some ministers who are jealous of the fact that men of all races and creed choose to be a part of Freemasonry instead of go to church. That's of their own free will and accords. It really is. So I'm talking to those ministers who like to do that sort of thing. So today we're going to get into this topic about the ministers or ministries in the church and Freemasonry. I've now been a Freemasonry for almost 35 years, right at 35 years. I've enjoyed the craft, be it good, bad, or indifferent. I've enjoyed the craft. I would tell you this, and for those of you who are Masons and you know what it says, that Mason will not interfere with your belief, your duties to your country, or your family. That's what it says. I know a lot of individuals I've seen on various channels talking about who they used to be a Mason and the reason they're not a Mason is because it's an occult and this and that. That's all good. But I will guarantee you this, you have no clue or understanding about the true essence of the brotherhood. Because if you did, you would understand, know that Christ was a member of the Essene. The Essenes was a society of men. And as a matter of fact, a secret society, because everyone wasn't privy to be a part of the Essenes. And you can go look this up for yourself. See, this is the difference between being a true Mason in the essence of saying that if I'm saying something that is not right, or you think that I'm saying something that is incorrect, I would want you to go and verify and look this up for yourself, and then we can dialogue and have a conversation about it. We can agree to disagree, but we should never fall out. Now, a lot of people would say, well, Freemasonry, it leads you to salvation. Freemasonry offers no line or direct line to salvation. It does not offer that. I remember a long time ago when I was first got into Freemasonry, and I had a job, and a man seen my ring. He was like, oh, you a part of that occult? I was a young brother at the time. He was like, oh, you a part of that occult? I'm like, no, man, I'm a Freemason. Oh, man, you don't know what you done got yourself into. You don't even understand it. And he's right. I didn't understand it. I took my Masonic ring off, the one that my wife bought me. I took it off and I threw it in the trash. And then I went back and I got it and I kept it. I called my mother. Now, mind you, I'm from Mississippi. My mother is a part of the Missionary Baptist Church in Mississippi. Pleasant Green, as a matter of fact. God bless her soul. She's gone. She's transcended some years ago. But you know what I'm saying. If you're from the South, you know exactly what I'm saying. I was in church all day, every day. I learned a lot. Okay? And I say that because my mom asked me this. She said, son, now that you are a Mason, have they told you not to worship your God? Have they interfered with your family? Have they said something to you that you would have to question why you was a part of the order? I said, no. She said, then, why did you quit? And it made me think seriously in regards to Freemasonry and what it is versus what it is not. So I come to you today challenging those ministers who like to talk about Freemasonry and that it leads to that it's supposed to lead to salvation and that is an occult and it's this and it's that. I challenge you to look me up. Give me that call. We can have this conversation. It's very easy to do. I'm not a hard person to catch up with at all. That is my challenge. And I would say this, as a Freemason, yes, you do have to believe in a supreme being. Who am I to tell you that your God doesn't exist? Who am I? Who am I to tell you how to pray and when to pray? Who am I? And this is the uniqueness of being a Mason. Because in Freemasonry, we say that, hey, if this is your God, you're free to worship your God and practice your faith as you choose to. And that's the beauty of Freemasonry. It doesn't hold a man to a particular doctrine. It's saying if you don't do this and if you don't do that. That's of your own free will and accord. That's between you and your God. What Freemasonry does, in my own personal opinion and being a part of this great society of men, it unites men. It says, look, brothers, we are here together to help each other to become better men. And by doing that, I'm going to support you in your endeavors. Well, what is your endeavors? You want to be a good husband. You want to be a good father, a good brother. You want to be able to treat an individual the way you want to be treated without him saying, well, because of you having this statue in the community or this in the community, I have to treat you a different way. No, we're going to treat each other on the level. We're going to be square with our action with each other. This is what Masonry is all about. In Freemasonry, I hold you accountable, but I do it in such a way that is respectful. I don't downgrade you when you make a mistake. I don't put my foot on your neck when you make a mistake in Freemasonry. That's how it's done where I'm at. Now, I can't say where's yours, where you at, and it's not done that way. I'm just clearly saying that in Freemasonry, where I'm at, in my jurisdiction, if a brother falls short, it is not for me to hold him down on the ground. It's for me to lift him up, to give him that grip that's going to say, come on, I got you. Let me help you up. Yeah, you fell down. Yeah, you made the mistake. Yeah, you did X, Y, and Z. But I want to hold you up. I want to walk with you. No man should ever walk alone. Okay? The Lone Ranger had Tonto. Christ had 12 disciples. All right? So no man walks alone. And Batman had Robin. So when we look at these things and we say, well, I can do this. No, you can't do this by yourself. Yes, it's your own personal journey. It is, as a Freemason, this journey is your own journey. But I will tell you what, you can't do it by yourself. Freemasonry is universal. That's what makes it so beautiful. So it doesn't matter what your beliefs are in Freemasonry, but the universality of Freemasonry joins all men together under the brotherhood, under the fatherhood of God, and brotherly love, relief, and truth. That's that banner we stand under. That's who we are. Now, granted, there are some Masons, we don't all get along. We don't always respect each other as we should. And I get it. I'm cool with that. I've gone beyond that. I've grown up now. But in saying that, to say this, is that Freemasonry is a beautiful society. It doesn't tell you you can't go to church. It doesn't tell you you can't worship your God, call him whatever name you choose. It doesn't say that. It says clearly that this is your book of faith. This is the book that you believe in. Take that book and apply that book to your life. That book you took your oath, your obligation on. Apply that book. That's what Freemasonry tells you to do. But some of us get so caught up in the nuances of Freemasonry till we miss the beauty of the society itself. So when you take a look at Freemasonry, what it has to offer and what it does to help build a man's character up, it's not a character assassination. It is to truly say that I got you, my brother, and my sisters. Let me rephrase this too, because there are sisters who are part of the Order of the Eastern Star, and they get dogged out by others who, oh, you're a part of that sisterhood, that occulthood, that you get dogged out too. So I'm talking to you, sisters. I'm talking to you also. You gotta hold up what they call that birth stained banner, or that blood stained banner. I'm sorry, that blood stained banner. And it's clearly said that if you're an Eastern Star, and you know how that chapter is set up as a member of the Order of the Eastern Star, you clearly understand that that sisterhood teaches you about being a woman and how you are able to develop in all the stages and facets of a woman. That's what it does. But so many people want to come out and talk negatively about it, who have never been. And then if you were, you may have had some bad experiences. Now you want to tell everybody, oh, it ain't all about that. No, just because you had a bad experience in your jurisdiction where you was at, granted, you know what? I feel for you. I get it. I've had some bad experiences, but I'm not going to chop the whole organization up. I'm not going to chop the whole society of Freemason and the Order of Eastern Star up because somebody has had a bad experience. I'm going to share with you the good, the bad, and the ugly because it's there, just like with anything else. Just like even in the church ministers, you have the good, the bad, and the ugly. Okay, you got it there. So stop shitting on Freemasonry. Okay? Yeah, I said that word. And I said it because there's a lot of ministers that I know who are Masons, and they totally get it. They totally understand it. But because they are Masons, they don't share necessarily with they don't share with their congregations that they are Masons. They're fearful how their congregation may feel because of what's been said in regards to Freemasonry. So I get it. But I'm saying to the ones who are not afraid, I'm saying to you, you're a Freemason, and that's what you are, then act like it. Be about that work. Be about that brotherly love, relief, and truth. That's what you should be about. So those ministers who come out and they always talking, well, this occult, the reason you shouldn't be Mason, it doesn't match up with Christianity. It is not supposed to match up with Christianity. It is not supposed to. Because Freemasonry clearly says that, look, it's all about developing that young boy into being a man. It's taking him through youth, manhood, and age. That's what Freemasonry does. It tells you to search for truth. And when you find it, that's your truth. That's what Freemasonry does. Unlike others, I know I'm stepping on some toes today, but that's okay. That's really okay. Just like with some of the other organizations or societies that you may come across, Freemasonry is different. It is truly different. It's a different organization as a whole. But I've truly enjoyed it, and I love being part of this great society. Although there are many Masons I know that doesn't necessarily get along with this Mason or that Mason, but that's okay. That's their own personal issue. But we have this thing in common, that binds men together. And they talk about, oh, you guys take a blood oath. That oath you take, that oath. What about the oath? What about that oath that we take as Masons? A lot of people who come through Masons and they take the obligation oath to another brother, there's nothing wrong with it. Let me tell you why. When you get married, you take an oath to your wife. You take an oath to your husband. An obligation to do right, an obligation to love, to cherish, to death do apart. You take that oath, that obligation to your wife. Oh, you didn't see that coming, did you? You didn't see that coming. See, a lot of people like to talk about Masonry and its secrets, and the only reason is that way is to keep it from cowards and eavesdroppers. Well, what are cowards and eavesdroppers? It's those individuals who become Masons and Eastern Stars, and what they do is they get in and then they say, oh, this is what it's really all about. No, you're in a chapter or a lodge, and all you do is party and have fries and fish fries and whatever, and sell dinners. So now that's what your thoughts are. That's what you're thinking at. Your thinking is that, oh, this is all there is. Brethren, good evening. Lily of the Valley, Lodge number 59. What's going on? So my thing is this. You have to grow and get beyond the small things that you may see. And the small things you may see is really hurts Freemasonry, because a lot of Masons like to have parties. They like to do the thing. And like I said, as long as it's done decently and in order, there's nothing wrong with having a good time. There's nothing wrong with it. It's when you get sloppy with your good time. This is where the senior warden comes into play. This is where not the senior warden, the junior warden comes into play. You know, his job is to superintend them during the hours thereof, that they may not take refreshments and intemperance, and call them on again in due season, that the wishful master may have pleasure and profit thereby. That's his job. His job is to make sure that the brothers are out there, they can have a good time, but they ain't tearing up nothing. See, and that's what separates us, in my own personal opinion, from being in this organization, from being Christians, because a lot of people who are Christians and they want to downlook the Freemasons, you having a party every night. Okay, you doing your thing all the time. But you want to throw bricks and boulders. But no, I've come across too many different videos in regards to individual ministers who claim, Freemasons is an occult, and you've never been a Mason. Well, I know this guy who joined Masonry, he said it was an occult. He had no clue. He didn't study very long. So he got raised to a degree of a Master Mason. And, it's very similar to the resurrection of Christ. Do you know when you get baptized, that's an initiation into Christianity? Oh, you done lost your mind, bro. No, that's a fact. And I've said it many times before. When you who go and join church, because that's what you do, you join church, okay? And then once you join church, when I was in the South, they had a thing called Mourner's Bench. That means during the fall revival or the spring revival or the winter revival, because we had them, the revivals where they've invited different ministers from various parts of the country. They would come and preach at your church. It's a whole week or a whole weekend long. And then you who accept Christ as your Lord and Savior, you go to what they call a mourner's bench. This is where you go and you think about the decision that you are about to make in becoming a member of that church. And once you become a member, you can either be baptized or you can join because you was already baptized, and now you're going to make this church your home. Am I lying? Anybody in here, am I lying? Come on, talk back to me. Am I telling the truth, or am I just fabricating everything? Somebody can talk back to me, because I think that when I see these videos in regards to Freemasonry and it's occultness, they don't bring in the fact that the reason most men seek out Freemasons is because most educated men, most learned men have come through the ranks of Freemasonry. That's the truth. Most educated men, most well-learned men, most politicians, most of the influential people have come through the doors of Freemasonry. And you need to ask yourself why. And I would say the reason being is because Freemasonry encouraged you to go in search of the truth. It doesn't pull your coattail and say, "Nah, man, that you don't need to be reading that." No, it doesn't. It tells you that, look, what I may find, you may not find. What you may find, I may not find. Go and search. Go look for yourself. And just like being a person who's a Christian. When you open the Bible, you just shouldn't say, "Well, I've read the Bible." No, you need to understand the language of the Bible. Like the word amen, for instance. A lot of people say amen and have no clue about where the word comes from. Amun-Ra. Oh, Amun-Ra. Well, who in the world is Amun-Ra? Go look him up for yourself. Go look up Amun-Ra for yourself and you'll see where your amen come from. Yes, the word means to agree, okay? That you agree with what's just been said. Amen means to accept. But the true essence of amen is Amun-Ra. Go look and see who Amun-Ra was. And then you can understand a lot of things that we do in the church is based on Egypt and its teachings. Even your 10 Commandments. Oh, where does those come from? Once again, go look at Egypt and those 100 and some odd commandments that they had written on the wall. Okay, go look at that. And then when you find those 100 and some commandments that they have, you will find those 10. Those 100 and some are older than the 10. I'm just saying. So to my Christian brothers and sisters, this is not a jab at you. This is a jab at those phony ministers who want to tell you that, oh, you shouldn't be an Eastern Star. You shouldn't be a Mason. And they have no clue about what the organization is about and what it stands for. They have no clue. Oh, when you guys do a lot of charities and things like that. Yeah, that's true. I mean, in some jurisdictions do a lot of good works, a lot of charities, scholarships, and that's true. But the essence of Freemasonry is for those, and it's encouraging you, or it should encourage you, to go beyond the mere fact of this is where you're at. It tells you to go in search of that which is lost. It tells you to do that. But most of us who are Masons don't get that part. So the reason for me making this is clearly to state that, hey, you know what? We can do better than this. And when I say we, I'm speaking of those Masons who are the example of what one should be. I'm talking to those sisters who set the example of what it is to be an Eastern Star. That's who I'm talking to. And I'm talking to those ministers who like to talk about Freemasonry being an occult. The next time you have that conversation, invite a Freemason to come on. Not one who has quit the order, not one who has left the Order of the Eastern Star, who are left Mason. Invite a Mason onto your YouTube channel and have that conversation where you yourself can talk and have a complete dialogue about what it's all about, because apparently you don't have that dialogue. You don't know. So this is what you do. You get on your channel and you have that conversation. Well, this is why Freemasonry is not compatible with Christianity. Freemasonry is not supposed to be compatible with Christianity. It's not. Okay? It's not. That's one thing I've gotten out of Freemasonry in the Order of the Eastern Star. The one thing I've truly gotten out of it is the essence of being able to go and search for myself, because that's what it tells me to do. Freemasonry tells me to go. If somebody tells you something, go look it up for yourself. Read for yourself and know for yourself. That's what it tells me to do. You go to church, you crack that Bible open, ain't nobody telling you to go and find out for yourself. They're giving you some good words. They're telling you what you should hear. That's what they're doing in church. They tell you, to me, I'm just saying, in church, they tell you what you should hear. They're not giving you some real downright things in life. You know, the first thing they want to say, oh, don't forget to pay your 10%. Trust God. Trust God. Okay, then I'm going to trust God. And I want you to trust God too. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep my 10% and still come to church. And I want to know about who's going to keep the lights on. That's what I need to know. Who's going to keep the lights on? You telling me to trust God? You trust God too. Because my light bill at home needs to be paid. And I'm going to pay that because I work every week to pay this car note, this life insurance policy, and some other bills. And when I get through paying that, whatever I have to share, I'm going to share it with the church. That's just that simple. Well, you know, God said bring it all in the storehouse and he'll store it up for you. I get all of that. And I'm not mad about none of that. Okay? All I'm saying is that I'm blessed to have a job. I'm going to pay these bills, right? And when I get through paying the bills, I'm going to share with the church so their bills can get paid too. Because they got bills. Plain and simple. That's the truth. The church got bills. That's why they're asking you for 10%. They have programs. That's why they're asking you for 10%. So they can get these programs, they can get these bills paid. That's why they're asking you. Talking about God gonna bless me. God has already blessed me with a job to pay the bills that I have to pay for, and then I share with you what I have. You know, I mean, I'm not saying that you shouldn't pay 10%. I never said that. I'm not saying you should give it off the top of your money. I didn't say that. What works for me may not work for you. That's just that simple. You know, some people have more time than they do money. So they may donate their time in church. Okay. Some people have more money than time. So you may find that that person may donate a bulk share of their money. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you can't keep that person down. You can't keep your foot on their neck because they don't do like you do. They don't travel the same road you traveling. You know, you can't do that to a person. If I say that I believe in the grand architect of the universe and I don't give a name to God like you give a name to him, that's my business. That's between me and the creator. And we got to start doing that. If I go to church every Sunday, let me clear this up. I go to church every Sunday and I go to the mosque, okay? And when I listen to the message, I get something out of the message from the mosque. I get something out of the message from the church. I don't kick either one either way. I don't. Because I'm listening to the message and what it can do to help improve my life, my situation. How can I be better after listening to the message that the minister has brought? You know, I'm not going to say, well, you know, you have to be a Muslim. You have to be a Christian. I'm not gang banging on nobody. I'm not setting up anybody to fail. I want you to be just as successful as I am. What I want for me, I want for you, my brother, my sister. I want it for you. Too many times we become selfish in the things in life. You know, why did he have that big house? And why did he, no, that ain't my business. My business is to ask you, how did you achieve that goal? And maybe I will take some of the things that you have shared with me, apply it in my life, and then I can come up. Maybe I can increase my bank so I can help somebody else along the way. Now, that's how I work. Yes, all religions are the same. It is. Dang it. I hope I didn't vanish here. Hold on just a second. There you go. I had some interruption there, so it's going to give me a time to kind of catch up a little bit. But anyway, let's see. Yes, all religions are the same. To a certain degree, they are. I mean, if you're going to truly break it down and get into the harmony and attributes of it, you are right. They're the same. That's why I don't kick Catholics. I don't kick Muslims. I don't kick Orthodox Jews. I don't kick them. I don't kick the message. I want to hear what you have to say to better improve my life, my situation. Any Masons that you meet and goes to the Bible and tell you that everything you need to know about Masonry is in the Bible is not a Mason or is a ignorant Mason. Hey, I was once there, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I was once there. I was one of them brothers that say everything you need to know about Masonry, you can find it in the Bible. I was there one time in my life. I'm not gonna kid you. I was that brother at one time. And then as I grew, as I began to search for that which was lost, I found necessarily that I would say this. Some of that is true to a fact. Some of that is true. The passwords are all in the Bible. That's the truth. That's no joke. Masonic passwords are in the Bible. But see, the Bible I've learned, as I've read, as I'm looking into it, is coded. And you have to be able to decipher the code. Even in Freemasonry, some jurisdictions have their own coded Masonic books. Let's just be honest. And I try to be as clairvoyant as I can in my Masonic travels. It is not for me to display or to tell you what's secretive about Masonry, what's not secretive about Masonry, because anyone can go buy a Masonic ritual from Barnes and Nobles, look at it, read it. You can do that. But everything about Masonry you're not going to find in that ritual. You're not going to find it. Plain and simple. But but that's what happens. When people want to disclose, or we're going to disclose Masonry. Yeah, you can disclose it. But I'll tell you what, the true essence of Masonry, that which your brother keeps in his heart, you won't get. The true essence of Freemasonry that a brother keeps in his heart, you're not going to get it. You're not. The secrets of Freemasonry is contained in the breast of a Masonic brother. You'll catch that on the way home. Because a lot of you are wondering, what do you mean about the secrets of masonry if I can go get a ritual and find out about it? Well, that's for me to know and you to find out. Or some of you may already know. So it's just that way. And this is the thing that gets me a lot of times when we're dealing with Freemasonry and the essence and those ministers who like to talk that good game about it, you know. And there are ministers, like I said before, there are ministers who are Masons. And they don't tell their congregation because, you know what? Those who are in the congregation may feel a certain way about that minister being a Mason, and they may withdraw from the church. So he doesn't say anything. She doesn't say anything. She doesn't tell the minister she's an Eastern Star because he's going to look at her differently now. So in order for her to keep that relationship at that church, in order for her to have a good time at that church and with those members of the congregation, she keep her membership secretive. That's what she does. That's what he does. This is just a fact. As a Catholic, some of you who are Catholics, you know, a long time ago was put out by Pope, I want to say Benedict, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be, that, you know, no Catholic should be a Mason. You know, but this goes way back because let me share this with you. The church, as far as the Catholics are concerned, the Hospitaliters slaughtered the Knights Templars under Doc Gemile. Doc Demile. You know, they slaughtered them, and in the process of slaughtering them, you know, the Knights Templar went underground. They did. They fled. They went underground. So now in the Catholic Church, you have what you call the Knights of Columbus. That's what you have. In Freemason, we have the Knights of Templars. Now, also, there's another organization within the Catholic Church. You know, so when you say that you shouldn't be Masons, you got to look at your history. Those who are Catholics, and you're talking about Masons. Look at what you did. Look at what you've done. You've slaughtered people. You've killed people. That's what you've done. And because the Knights Templar found out and said, hey, something ain't right here, as they was digging under the dome, okay? And they found something that was precious. And you felt that they got too big for their britches. So you summoned Jock Demile, their Grand Master, and you killed them. You slaughtered them. And it's what it is. But that's a history. That's a brief history. If you don't believe what I'm saying, go and look it up for yourself. Look up the slaughters of the Knights Templars that was done by the Knights of Hospitaliters under the authority of the Pope. It's there. It's there. So we can, I mean, it's just what it is. The government ain't gonna hold China accountable for this street, man. You lost me on that one, Alex. You definitely lost me on that one. Manly P. Hall said, Manly P. Hall, you can yell secret of masonry from the rooftop, and if it's not for you, you will never get it. Absolutely. That's absolutely correct. Your father was a 33rd and a minister? Totally. He understood masonry. If he was a 33rd and a minister, you know, and I'm going to say this, a lot of individuals who make it to the degree of a 33rd, who pay their money, because you pay your money to be a 33rd. To me, from what I know, and I'm a 33rd, once they get it, they good. They don't go no farther. They don't look no farther into it. But I encourage you, if you ever decide to be a 33rd one day, look farther into that degree work. Understand what you're about to engage in. In all of your degree work, I encourage anyone who wants to be a Mason, who wants to be an Eastern Star. You know, it's a great organization, but I would tell you that it's not for everybody. Being a Mason is not for everybody. It's not. It's just that simple, as the brother just so eloquently put it just a second ago. That's the real Friday the 13th. Absolutely. It is the real Friday the 13th. It is. You know? But that's the thing they don't put out there. Symbolism of the tree of life. They don't even know that, brother. Well, you know what? This, once again, is what I enjoy about Masonry. It tells me if I don't know something, go in search of it. Find it out for yourself. And when you find it, share it. And once you share it, and if a person doesn't believe you, at least you shared it. Now they can go and look for themselves. That's what they can go do. If you don't believe what I'm saying to be right, go look for it for yourself. And when you find it, let us talk about what you found. Maybe you found something a little different than I did. Let us have this discussion, this conversation about it. You know? And like I said earlier, the reason a lot of ministers are upset in regards to men who are Masons, and because they ain't in your church. Let's just be honest. You mad at the man because he's not coming in your church. It's just that simple. Now, that's what I believe. Now, somebody, if you got something that can show me a little different, I'm willing to listen. But I'm telling you, the reason most ministers are upset at Masonry is because they're not in your church. Most men, you won't find them in church. You'll find more women in church than you will men. Come on, somebody talk to me. Because I'm talking factual. This is a fact. This is the truth. And when you are in search of the truth, when you find it, it gives you a new life. When you find the truth for yourself, it gives you a new life. It makes you bold. The truth makes you bold. Because you're standing on something that you can't change. Okay? No matter how you add it up. 3 plus 1 is 4. 2 plus 2 is 4. No matter how you switch the numbers, you're still going to come up with 4. And that's what I like about the truth and the facts. You know, you can talk to me all day about certain things, but I need for you to show me the documents. I need for you to tell me where I can go and find it for myself. Let me read it. And then I will be able to understand it and break down the words and meanings behind it. You know, and then when I get it, I'm thankful. I'm thankful that you shared the information. But just because I don't know, don't cut me down. And that's what ministers do to a lot of individuals. You know, you don't need to be a part of that cult. They're taking that blood oath. You know, you take oaths all the time. You go to the courthouse, you get before the judge, you take an oath. You do. Do you promise to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth? So help you God. It don't say so help you Jesus. It don't say so help you any other. It says so help you God. And you go right on up there and raise that right hand up at a 45-degree angle and you say so help me God. That's what you do. Somebody could talk back to me. Let me know. Because I don't want nobody saying this brother right here lost his mind. He crazy. He crazy. No. That's the truth. That's what you do. You know, that's what you do. And because of this organization of Freemasons, I would say this. You should hold your brothers and your sisters accountable. You should. You should hold each of them. If they're in your lodge, hold them accountable to doing the right thing. You know, if they're in your chapter, hold them to doing the right thing. That's what you do. That's how this organization flourish. Don't hold them, you know, I mean, it's okay to hold them accountable. Don't beat them up. Don't do that. Don't do that to your brothers. Don't do that to your sisters. When they fall, don't beat them up. Don't do that to them. Hold them up. Explain to them, brother, that's not how we should carry ourselves. You know, don't do that. Don't do that. So I got one more thing before I go. The Brothers of the Craft, we wear black and white suits to our Masonic lodges. Why do we wear black and white suits? Where did that come from? Most of us have never questioned that. We just wear it. And I'm questioning that. I'm questioning that because I have an understanding that I've come across of the reason why we wear it. And it's unique. Because the reason, I'm going to share this. This is what I came across. The reason Masons wear the black and white suit is because those who were Masons long ago were well-educated men well-to-do individuals in the city. In politics, they were those individuals. So gentlemen wore suits to their meetings. Okay, the black represented darkness because you're surrounded by darkness every day. That's the black suit. And the white shirt represented that within you, there's a light that shineth. Okay, this is the reason why you wear your black and white suit. You're surrounded by darkness every day. The white shirt represents the mere fact that there's a light within you. For many of us in our Masonic lodges, we sang a song, "This Little Light of Mine." We sang that song. But none of us really, we sang it. It's supposed to be there. In my lodge, we hadn't sung that song in years. It's been a long time. But this is the reason we wear our suits, because those prominent men of long ago were very well educated. They were dignitaries. Those men wore suits wherever they went, and you can go and look this up for yourself once again. Look at how they dressed long ago when they went to meetings and things like that. They dressed professionally. This carried over into masonry, because those men were well-to-do and educated men. And the black came in as the black suit because we understood we were surrounded by darkness. The white shirt is that we should let our light shine. We carry a light within us. The kingdom of heaven is within you. And if this is so, there's a light that shineth with you that is like no other light. Take that to the bank. So you wear your black suit in that white shirt with that black bow tie. You look professional and distinguished. You carry that briefcase that holds the materials that you need for your meetings. This is why we do what we do. Oh, Brother Hawkins, how can you say that? I say that because that's truth. Well, masonry came from the stone guilds. There were stone masons, and then no. I'm not going for that one. I used to. I was that one. The more you read and you get old books, the more you find out. I'm not talking about a revised book. I'm talking about when you get an old book, keep that old book, because when they revise it, it's nothing like the original book that you have in your hand. It's nothing like it. So in the old books, they tell you about those gentlemen who was well-to-do that became masons. It tells you about that. It tells you about the work that they did. Oh man, my phone looks like it's about to go on me. There you go. It tells you about the work they did. It tells you about their work. So in the process, as Masons, as the organization grew, and those well-to-do men came in the organization, not through stone masonry, but through schools of masonry. When I say schools of masonry, this goes back of long ago to the Grand Lodge of Lux, their libraries, how people was, the process of growing. It took a long time for a person to become a master mason. It took years because he grew into it. It wasn't something that took him a year or 2 years. It took a long time. Do you know what it is to be a master mason? That means you master some things, You master patience. You master your wording, how to give life with your words. You master some things. Master mason. It means something. And a lot of people will never get that. My phone looks like it's about to go. So look, I'm not going to hold you long. I hope you enjoyed this message today. I hope that you can get something out of it. And anything that I may have said that you may disagree with, go back and research it. Leave me a message and let me know, and I'll do the same thing. Okay, I'll do the same thing. If you think I've said something that's going to mislead you, I will go and do the same thing. And then we can have a dialogue. We can have that conversation. And with that being said, and for those who've just coming on, man, I'm so sorry. My phone is about to go down. I wish I could have been on a little bit longer, but this is where I'm at. Brother put laughing out loud. What's up, bro? I can't call it. Oh, respect of the dead. We are surrounded by darkness. It's all love, light, brother. Appreciate that. Peace. We're having church. You just preaching a sermon, bro. Oh man, I'm sorry, man. It's not. I don't mean to be preaching a sermon. I just like to share information when I find it, when I have it. There's no need of me being a hoarder of information that can help somebody be the best that they can be. There's no need. That's crazy. Because when I leave this rock, it's a wrap. Everything I have up here is gone. And if I didn't leave it for nobody, it was no good any damn way. So take the information you have, share it with a person who's ready to be enlightened. Everybody is not ready to swallow that pill. And once you wake up, it's hard as hell to go back to sleep. That's truth. It's hard to go back to sleep when you wake up. And when I say wake up, I'm talking about mentally wake up. Remove the shackles of slavery off your mind. And when you see, it's not going to be the same, brothers. It's not going to be the same. It's going to be hard for you to bite your tongue at times, knowing that the things that you can say and will say is going to hurt somebody. So you must be mindful of that. Because a man told me a long time ago, he said, Hawkins, he said, when you have information and you're going to give it to someone, you just can't take what they know, okay, what they know, and pour it out and then put what you know in it. It doesn't work that way. They'll be resentful and they'll be hateful. What you do is you take what you know and what they know and you talk about it. And then maybe, just maybe, they'll say, okay, let me look at it from your point of view. And the same thing can happen to you. But do not disrespect someone else and what they know. Don't do that. And I'm not going to do that. But I'm going to share with you what I know because I may not have it very long. You know, stuff come in your head, man. You read the books, you know, and then boom, it's gone. It's gone. But this is why it's important to read books, to have, I'm blessed of the craft and of the brothers who've sent me many different books, man. I'm so blessed and I'm so thankful that you chose to share your knowledge with me. There are some knowledgeable brothers out there. Let me tell you, there are some brothers on this page right now who called me after this show may be over. This, you know, and they'll say, Brother Hawkins, I got a book I want to share with you. Brother Tony, have you considered this book? Have you? And it's so much that they know that it's man, I'd be like, golly, bro, come on, man, you know, and I appreciate them sharing it with me. I do. There's a lot of, I'm going to say this here. There's a lot of Prince Hall brothers out here. You're very educated. You're very smart. You know your works. You've even enlightened me on a whole lot of things. And you know that. But because of your situation, your circumstances, where you at, you'll prefer letting it be where it's at. And you know I'm telling the truth because we talk all the time. And it's cool. I can respect that. There are some brothers who are part of various other organizations. You call me up. Hey, Brother Tony, what do you think about this? And we share and we dialogue. And you know exactly who you are. I need not to call names. I'm not going to do that. But I'm going to tell you this. I enjoy every conversation that I have with the brothers from various jurisdictions. I enjoy your conversation. I want to tell you thank you for sharing your light, your knowledge with me. I want to tell you that. So look, I'm going to have to clock off because my phone is about to go. And I've been saying that for a minute. And it's going to go. I don't know when. Moderator, iterator. Well, anyway, so look, brothers and sisters, as I log off of here, be blessed. Have a great day. Until I see you, you know, you do your thing. Sometimes you have to hide the medicine in the candy. I likes that. I likes that. I likes that. Sometimes you have to, I likes that. I like that. Look, go and enjoy yourself for the rest of the day. I'm out. Whatever you do, stay out the bushes and keep your light on. Peace.